Algebra I 10.8a, rational equation word problem, acid mixture. So there's many real-world instances when we need to make mixtures, and one way we can figure out a mixture problem is by using two variables and two equations. And making a table will help us see the relationship of our information. So look at this information I've got on this table right here. You can see how I used colors to help me fill it in. I also drew pictures to help me. So here's our problem, and this is why this is written here. I'll show you. It says one solution is 80% acid and another one is 30% acid. All right, well, look, here's the 80% acid one and here's the 30% acid one, okay? And it says how much of each solution is needed to make a 200-liter jar of 62% acid solution. So that means we need to add the 80% acid solution to the 30% acid solution. We don't know how much of each, but it's going to equal 62% acid solution, and it'll be 200 liters. So we need to figure out how much of this one and how much of this one we need to make that one, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to organize our data in a table. And here's our table. So we're going to let x equal the amount of the first solution. That's the first solution of our mixture. So take a look at this table very closely. We've got our first solution or mixture, our second solution, and then our final one. Here's the amount we need of each one. See? Here's the percent of acid of each one. And here's the amount of acid written as a decimal. Okay? And we'll get into this a little bit more, all right? So also remember that there's two meanings for solution. Solution can be the answer to a problem, or solution can be a mixture of liquids. English is funny, all right? So we're going to organize our data in this table here. X is going to be the amount of the first solution, and 200 minus X is going to be the amount of the second solution. 0.8x is the amount of the first solution multiplied by the percentage. We write the percentage as a decimal as 0.8. 0.3 times 200 minus x is the amount of the second solution multiplied by the percentage written as a decimal. So 30% is 0.3, and we multiply it by the 200 minus x. 0.62 times 200 is the amount of the final solution multiplied by the percentage written as a decimal. So 62% is 0.62 multiplied by 200. All right. So now going straight down like this, in this column, 0.8x, see, we have our first equation. We've got 0.8x plus 0.3 times 200 minus x equals 0.62 times 200. See? So here it is again, and all we have to do is use distributive property to multiply. We need to distribute this 0.3 to the 200 and to the negative x, and we need to distribute this 62 to that 200, don't we? So we've got 0.8x plus 0.3 times 200 is 60, and then 0.3 times negative x is negative 0.3x, and that's going to equal 124 because 0.62 times 200 is 124. Now we can combine like terms. This 0.8x and this negative 3x can be combined to be 0.5x, can't it? So now we've got 0.5x plus 60 equals 124. We subtract 60 from each side. It creates a zero pair. And now we get 0.5x is equal to 64. See that? And now, to isolate the x, we just divide each side by 0.5. 64 divided by 0.5 is 128. This cancels out as identity property, our invisible 1. And x equals 128 liters. That's the amount we need for our first solution. So we could even write it in our table if we wanted to, 128. But all we have to do is substitute the 128 for x. See? We know that for the red one, we've got 200 minus x. And if we put the 128 here, then we know 200 minus 128 is going to be the amount of the red one, the second one, isn't it? And 200 minus 128 is 72, so that means 200 minus x is 72. We need 72 liters of the red one, the second one. We substituted the 128 for the x to find the amount of the second solution. See? So now we know that we need 128 liters of this one. And we know we need 72 of this one. And then that'll equal 200. See? Now we know the amount of the liters, 128, 72, and that'll be 200. Okay? Now, we need to check it to make sure we did our math correctly. And the way we check it is 80% of 128, 80% of that 128 that's x, we multiply 128 times 0.8. This written as a decimal. Comes out to 102.4. We multiply 30% times 72 to find 30% of 72, and that multiplies as 21.6. When we add the 102.4 and the 21.6, we get 124. And 62% of 200 is 124. They match, so we know we got it right. See? Just remember that 1 is 100%, okay? Not that big of a deal. We're going to do another one in the next video. We're going to do it like a salt and water solution, which is basically the same thing as an acid solution, but maybe watching another video will help you, okay? So that's going to be 10.8b. We're going to do rational equation word problem. It's going to be a mixture of substances. And if you want to see any of the other previous videos, like how to find the reciprocal of a number in a word problem, or rational expressions with unlike denominators and solving them using a pattern, my algebra word problem playlist, which has lots of algebra word problems in it. There'll be a link to that too. All right, so all these links will be in the description of this video. So let's talk about mixing salt and water together to get a percentage solution. All right, I'll see you there at 10.8b. Bye.